So in this video, I am going to design this template. This template is available in Dribbble, which is named as Finance Tracker Mobile iOS app. So I'm going to design this UI. So there are two pages. First one is the dashboard page and the second one is stat page. So this is the very first video of this new playlist, which is Flutter Design Challenge. So I will find few designs on internet like Dribbble or any another platform, and then I will design those screens in Flutter, and I will teach you step by step that how to design those screens. So let's find a screen. So I found a new design on Dribbble. So let's check out this. So let's move to the laptop screen so that I can show you that which design I'm going to design and how to design that in Flutter. Here is the design. This one is the dashboard page with all the utilities on the dashboard, and there is a stat page with all info about money. So the author given whole info about this design, like she has given color codes, typography, like font family. So that would be helpful for us. Okay, so let's start from this design. So I'm going to open VS Code and I'll create a new project for this. So I will name it as FDC1, like means Flutter Design Challenge 1. So I'm going inside VS Code and I'll create a new Flutter project. So I'm going to save my project inside this Flutter directory. So I'm going to name it as FDC_1 and hit enter. So VS Code will prepare our Flutter application. So just wait for it. So this is for beginners and absolute beginners. This is not for experienced Flutter developer. So I will create design from scratch and I will tell you about all basic things. So if you already know about those things, then just ignore them. Don't comment in video that you already knew about that. Okay, so our project is ready. So let us start from this. So I'm not going to use Android Studio in this project. So I will run my project in Windows directly. So here in the devices list, I'll select Windows. Okay, if you don't know how to set up Windows device, then you can follow Flutter developer documentation where you can see how to enable developer mode in Windows and use Windows as emulator. Okay, so let us run this so that we can see how it's looking. So this is our fresh project and VS Code don't know how to run this. So I'm going to create a launch file so that VS Code will know about that it's a Flutter project which is built in Dart. Okay, so here is our launch.json file which is created by VS Code itself, and it has configuration about how we run our app. Like we can run in debug mode, which is the default mode, then the profile mode, and then the release mode if you want to run your application as a release inside your device. So I'll choose this one, FDC_1, the first one. Okay, and after that I can click on that start icon, or I can press F5 from keyboard as well. So I'll press F5 and it's started the building process. Just wait for it so that our app will run inside Windows emulator. This is not an emulator, this is just Windows application. So I'll every time call it as emulator. So our app is now running. So this is the default app created by Flutter. So now we will work on this. So I'm going to resize my VS Code and emulator so that I can code and run simultaneously. Okay, so now let's start from the main screen. So I'm going to remove all the unnecessary code from here. So this is the main home page which is being displayed here. So I'm going to create another file for this home screen. I have created another folder named as pages, and here I'll create home.dart file, and here I will create a stateful widget. I'm not going to use any third-party state management library. I'm using the default stateful widget and I'll call it as home page, and then I'll reference it inside my main application file. So I'm going to remove this one, and here I will use my on file which is home page and make it as constant so that our widget will not build every time. Okay, so now just run this and you can see it's giving that black screen because it's just an empty screen with just a placeholder. Okay, so let's move into the design. So here is our design. So we want to design this home screen. So let us thoroughly view this and decide its outline. So there is a vertical list. So we will use list view for that. And then there are few widgets like this one, the total balance section, then my cards section, and then add income, add expense, and then there are two cards which is debts and savings, and then there is another card which is control your finance, and then another card which is expenses with all the expenses, and that's it. So let's start from the beginning. So we'll create a list view so that it will work on smaller screen as well. So I'm going to replace this with list view, but if I use list view directly, then it will give an error because material visit is required for the main. So if I run this again, so I'm hot restarting. So if I add text and save this, then you can see that it's not rendering properly because we are using material app, and material app required a material visit on the top of all the visit tree. Okay, so we have to wrap any material visit on this list view. So we will use scaffold. Okay, so I'm going to remove this and I'll use scaffold here. Okay, and in body I will use list view, and now we can use our children like text, and as you can see now it's rendered properly. Okay, so let us start from the main. So on the top we need this section, so I'll call this section as app bar. So inside the home file I will create a new function, named it as build app bar, and here I will return row. I'm returning row because it's in a horizontal view, but this is in horizontal view, and inside that there is a column which is vertical view. Okay, so here I will use children, and the first children will be the column. Next one will be, that will be I think icon. Yeah, now those are just icons, so I'll use icon here, and then again icon. So the icon is notification icon, and then the 3 dot icon. So just use them like icons dot notification. Yeah, here is a notification bell icon and more horizontal. Yeah, okay, so now just save this, and now we have to use this in our list view. So I'll call this like build app bar, and here as you can see there are two icons, which is the bell icon and the more icon. As you can see those icons have a border. So if I zoom it, and as you can see those icons have a border, and you also notice that our icons are not similar to that design. So I'm just using default icons from the material design. You can use images here, or you can use any third-party icon library like Font Awesome library, or there are many icons library there, or you can use SVG icons as well. So I'm going to use default icons for this purpose. Maybe at the end of the video I will use third-party icons, but as of now I'm going to use default icons. So now just create a border for them. So I'll wrap this inside floating action button. Okay, so now it's looking beautiful and it's clickable also. So I'm going to make second eyes. So now both icons are looking beautiful, and I'll add some spacing between them. For spacing there are multiple ways, like I can wrap this in padding widget, and I can add left padding, or I can create container with width of 8, or I can create size box as well. So I'm going to I will create a blank size box with the width of 8 instead of wrapping this widget inside padding. So 8 is not enough, so I'm going to use 12. Yeah, 12 is fine. As you can see our icons are not circle, and there is a shadow, but those icons doesn't have shadow, so we will remove shadow and we will make them circle. So this shadow is created by the elevation of this floating action button. So first of all remove elevation from this floating action button. So here is a property which is elevation, so make it 0 so that we can remove elevation. Okay, so there's no elevation, but when we hover our mouse then elevation is showing, which is great, so that user will know that it's clickable, right? So I'll copy the elevation property on second button as well. So now those icons are without shadow, and now we have to make this circle. Okay, so to make that icon in circle shape, we can pass shape property to this button. So here is a shape property, and there are multiple type of shapes available like rectangular shape, circular shape. So I'll use circle shape so that I can make them circular. And if I save, and as you can see now button is in circle form, so I'm going to use that shape in second button as well. Okay, so now our buttons are looking same as the design. So now let's create this widget, which is a small text and the large text. And for this, I'm going to add children property here, and then I will add two texts, and the text will be total balance and second one will be any amount. Oh, as you can see, I'm getting an error which is expected an identifier. So I'm getting this because this dollar is represented as concatenation or interpolation inside the string. So we have to escape from this dollar symbol so that we can use this as a dollar symbol. So simply add backslash in front of this dollar symbol. So now it's acting as a string. So just save this, and as you see, now it's showing properly. Okay, so now we have to modify their sizes. So the first one is showing properly. Title is okay. I have to increase size of this amount. So here I can use style. So what I'm doing is I'm using default styles provided by Flutter Material Design so that I don't have to hard code all the sizes and colors. So I'm going to use default body large style. So let's see how it's looking. So it's not what we want. So just use another style maybe headline large will work fine. Yes, it's almost similar to design, but I think we can use title large. Let us try. We have tried body large, headline large, title large. So let us give a try to display large as well, but display large is too big. So let us try display medium. What about display small? I think display small is okay, but if we can, yes, display small is just fine. And we have to just add boldness to this. So I'll use the copy property and font weight dot bold and make this optional. And yes, now it's looking same as our design. But as you can see, the font family is not same as this one, because as you can see, she is using Nunito Sans font family. So we have to use the same. So to use this third party font, we can use Google Fonts, which is available on pub.dev, which is named as Google Fonts provided by Google. So we can use this one. So just go to your VS Code inside terminal, simply type the command which is dart space pub space add Google Fonts, and this will add Google Fonts library in our Flutter project. So library is added to our project and we can use this in our project. So there are two ways to use Google Fonts. We can pass Google Font in each and every text or any widget which is showing text, or we can simply pass to our material app themes. That font will apply to all the text in our application. So for this, here is the theme data. So there is another property which is text theme. So I'm going to use text theme from Google Fonts library. So just type Google Fonts and we have to import that Google Fonts package here. So simply import that, and now Google Fonts art, we need Nunito Sans. Okay, so that would be Nunito Sans text theme. Okay, so now this text theme is available globally to our project. So save it and run the app again. So I'm going to stop this and I'll run this again. So just okay, after running the app, it's now using Nunito Sans fonts. Now our app is looking same as the design. Okay, so now in the design, total balance and the amount is aligned to left, but in our app it's in center. So just make this to left. For this, we can add a property in our column which is cross axis alignment and pass cross axis alignment dot start. So all elements of the column will be aligned from start, which means aligned from left. So now total balance and amount is aligned from start. And now we need a space, and in design those icons are at the end of the screen. So to make them at the end of the screen, we can add spacer here. There is a widget which is spacer, which will take all the available space on screen. So if I save this, so as you can see, whole space is covered by the spacer and then there are two icons. Okay, but as you can see, there is small padding on the screen. but this padding is not here on the my cards widget, which means that we can't add padding to container widget. We have to add padding to this small widget. Okay, so we will add padding to our this row. Okay, so just wrap this row in the padding. I'll use 12 as the padding, and now that's looking great, same as our design. Okay, so now move to the next section, which is the my card section. Create another widget. So I'll call this function as my cards. So now in this I need column here, and then in the column there is a horizontal list view. Okay, so just return column from here, and children will be the text, and what would be the text? My cards. Okay, and size is ink. Heading would be great. So I'll copy this code from here and I'll paste it here to save my time, and here I'll use heading large, and I'll use this function inside list view. So this is too big, I'll use headline medium, and this it's still big, I'll use headline small. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll do the same, which is I'll add the boldness to this. So I'll use the function which is copy with. So this will make clone of this style and add bold property in this. Okay, so simply add at the end of this, and yeah, it's showing same as design, which is my cards. And now we have to design this. So for this I'm going to use list view here, and list view will be, but that list view is in horizontal form, so I'll change the axis of this list view. So the axis will be list view. So in the scroll direction I'll pass axis dot horizontal. So now the list will be in the horizontal form, but there would be a problem. So if I save this and if I add few items here, like I need a floating action button, there's a plus icon in the floating action button, so I'll use icons dot and maybe plus, no, maybe add. Yeah, it's add, and the size of that plus icon is left, so I'll change the size of that icon. I'll use 28, and let us see. But as you can see, the list view is not showing. So the main problem is that we are using list view inside list view. As you can see, our parent is also a list view here. So we can't add list view inside list view because list view needed a fixed width, fixed height parent. So we have to wrap this list view inside the size box so that we can pass fixed size to that list view. So just wrap it in size box. We can wrap this in container as well, but according to Flutter, container take more space than the size box. So just use size box, and the height would be I think 140 would be great. So our app is in debug mode, and debugger is paused on the exception. So I will not catch all the exceptions. So I'll just go inside the debug menu and I'll untick uncount exceptions so that it will pause on my breakpoints only. So now just click on the continue button, and that's it. Okay, so it's still giving me an error. And what's the error? Yeah, it's saying that now run this again. I think the app is stuck here, so I think I have to stop and rerun the app. So I'm going to stop this and running this again. This debug is stuck in VS Code, so I'm going to restart my VS Code as well. Okay, so now I have restarted the VS Code and run the app again, and now here is a floating action button. And in design, that floating action button doesn't have the elevation, so I'll pass elevation 0, same I did for that buttons. So simply pass elevation here, elevation 0. And now this floating action button has extra width, so just increase the width of this floating action button. So there are multiple ways to increase width of this floating action button. I can pass padding to this icon widget, or I can wrap this floating action button in container or sized box and then pass width to that sized box or container. So I'm going to wrap this floating action button with sized box, and I'll pass width to this floating action button, and I'll use 80 as a width. I think 80 is okay, but no, I'll pass 96. Yes, 96 is similar as design, but icon is smaller, so I'm going to increase size of icon as well. So I'll use 36. Yeah, that's looking fine. Now we need this card widget, like this MasterCard, then Visa card. So I'm simply going to use card here, default material card widget. I'll design those later. So I'll add text here like MasterCard, and I'll wrap this with padding, and then I'll clone this and Visa card. So now we have the cards. Background color of that card is black, and this one has a light gray color. So I'll change the color of this card. So use color property here. The color will be colors dot black, and here I'll use lighter gray color. So gray with shade of 100, and let us try. I think with opacity would be great. I'll use alpha here. So I think shade of 100 or shade of 50 would be great. Yeah, shade of 50 is just fine. So instead of creating card here, I'll create another widget for that card so that I can reuse that card somewhere else as well. So if I need that card in another screen as well, then I will extract card from here to separate file. But for now, I'm just going to create another function here, and I'll name it as build MasterCard. And from here, just simply return that card, and I'll clone this and I'll name that as build Visa card, and I will replace that code with this one. Okay, so now I will use that function here, build MasterCard and build Visa card. Okay, so now I will design that MasterCard. So that MasterCard has a MasterCard icon here. Then there is a text widget, and then another text widget at the bottom of the screen, and there is another background image which is something like boxes. So I'll find that design, and I have to find that MasterCard icon as well. So I'll go to the flat icons. From flat icon, I can find free icon images for our app. So I'll write MasterCard. So let's see if there is any icon. Okay, so we need a white icon. So if there are white icons, then that would be great. Otherwise, I'll color this icon. Just take a look. So I'm going to simply use this icon without coloring this. So just add that icon in project directly, and we have to add that image inside our pubspec file. So I'm not going to pass image name so that it will pick all images from that images directory. So that's why I have added that / at the end. So just save it, and VS Code will run the Flutter pub get command. If you are not using VS Code, then simply go to terminal and write Flutter space pub space get command, so that your latest pubspec will be rendered. So the command is finished. So now just go back to the design. So we need a row here, but before the row there is column, which is for this one. So simply add column here, and first child would be the row, and then image.asset, because we are going to use image from assets folder. So that's why I'm going to use asset here. If you want to load image from the network or from the file, then you can use those functions like network or file. So just pass path of that asset, which is assets /images /money.png. So our icon is now showing, but icon is too big, which is not showing properly here. So I'm going to pass size of that image like height 32 and width 32. So that MasterCard icon is showing nicely here. And now we have to add text, which is *** space few digits *** space digits, and our text is not showing properly because text is in black color and the background is also black. So I have to change the text color to something grayish. So I will pass text style to style of that text, and the colors would be colors.gray, and yeah, it's shown properly and it's looking same as the design. You can adjust it according to your need. I think the text is also bold, so I'm going to add bold property as well. So just add font weight, and font weight would be font weight.bold. And yeah, now it's showing same as our design. So now we have to work on that text, which is the money. So just copy the whole code, and this is in the white color, pure white color. So okay, so we'll change the color to white. So now go outside the row and paste it here and write money like 24 something, and same as we did earlier, we have to add backslash here so that we can escape that dollar symbol and use it as string, and change the color to white. That's great. And we have to adjust size as well. I can use default font styles as well. Sorry, there was a problem in my laptop, so I have to shift all the project on my PC. So now I'm recording this video from my PC. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so now I have to increase width of this card. So I'm going to try width it. So I'm going to wrap it with sized box so that I can pass width to this. And I'll pass 140. Let's see if it's okay. No, 160, 180. I think 200 will be okay. Yeah, 200 is okay. So first of all, we have to add spacing between that icon and the card number. So as we did earlier, we have to use spacer widget here. Sorry, I used it in wrong place. I have to use it here. And yes, now this is okay. And next thing is that we have to move that text at the bottom of this card, which means that we have to add spacer here as well. So add that spacer in column as well so that our text will go at the bottom. Now this text is in center of this column, so we have to change cross-axis alignment of this column. So in this column I will pass cross-axis alignment as cross-axis alignment dot start. So now this is at the beginning of the column, and our design is now almost done. We have to use that image here, but we'll do that later. Let's design this Visa card now. So the Visa card is same as that MasterCard. Only one difference is that there is icon of Visa. So let me download that icon. I will download it from flat icon. So I'll use this icon. So I'm going to download PNG version of that image and I'll rename it to Visa. And now I will move it to our project directory inside assets images folder. And after that we can use here. So instead of copy pasting this MasterCard, I will make it dynamic so that I can use this MasterCard widget for Visa, MasterCard or any other type of card. Okay, so I'm going to add few parameters here like color, that UBG color for the background color so that I can change color of that background as well. And then icon. So I will pass that icon name dynamically, and after that amount and that number. So there would be string amount and string card number. Okay, so now we have to use those variables in our widget. So instead of this static color, I'll use the BG color. And instead of that static image, I will use that icon here. So now this icon will be appended with that string because we are using $sign here, and then amount, and the last one is card number. Okay, so now just go here. I'll also rename that function so that it will look more generic. So I'll name it as build card. Yes, build card. So I'll use build card here, and background color will be colors.black. Icon will be money.png. Amount will be this one. The next one is the card number, which is *** space any number. Okay, so let's just save this and look at the preview. Okay, the preview is okay. So now I will duplicate this, and here color will be gray of shade 50. Shade 50, and icon will be visa.png. Amount will be 13,200 and card number will be 6729. Just save this, and here is our Visa card component. So currently I am running my project on Windows, so I can't scroll it horizontally because gestures will not work on Windows. It will work on Android only. So there's just one problem, which is the text color. Text color is white, which is not visible on the gray color. So I'm going to make color of this text dynamic as well. So here I'll use text colors, and I'll pass that text color to this amount visit. For first visit, I'll pass colors dot white, and for second one, let me see in design how it was looking there. So I think it's not showing in design. Let me check another images. Okay, here is the design. So it's pure black, so I'll use black color here, and that's it. So design is done for that card and the card component. So there are a few things left, like we have to shift that my cards text to start of this column, and we have to add padding as well. So there is no padding from start and end, but there is small space before that floating action button. So let's do it. So I'll pass cross-axis alignment to this column. That would be cross-axis alignment dot start, and then wrap this text widget with padding, and look at the design. Yeah, now it's looking same as the design. So just go to the previous design. Yeah, so we have to add some space before that floating action button. So just add spacing here. So I'm going to add sized box here with the width of 12. So that's it. Now design is almost done. Now if we use this in mobile, then we can scroll it easily. Okay, so now move to the next visit. So here is another visit, which is a card with text and button. So now let us build. So now we can remove this function because we are not using that function now. So now I have to build this, and what should I call this? I think I'll call this as activity card. I don't know what should I call this, but I'm calling it as activity. So sorry. So the function will be build activity card. So I use same visit for those two visits. Okay, so just wrap this with card view and then text and button. So I'm going to return card from here, and I'll use a row here and its children. First children will be text and another will be icon. So I'm going to use circle avatar here. So circle avatar, and its child will be an icon, and that would be icons dot arrow. Yes, I can use this for now, and I will use this function inside this list view. Sorry, this list view. So I'll use this here. So first of all, I have to change color of this card. So I'll use color as colors dot gray with shade of 50, and color for that circle avatar. So there is a background color property. So I'll use colors dot gray with shade 100. 100 is not okay, so I'll use 300, and no, let's see 500. No. Yeah, 400 is just similar to that. No, I think it's darker. I think 300 is okay. That's 300 is better. So now I have to add text here. So there will be just a text, and that text is bolder. So I will pass text style here, and font weight would be font weight dot bold. Yes. And now we have to wrap this in padding so that it will look like this spacing. So just wrap that row in padding. I'll use default padding. So let's see if it's okay. I think it's okay. Yes. So now I have to change border radius of that card because it's more rounded in that design. I think I have to, yeah, it's already rounded, but I have to round this. I think I have to round card as well. So yes, roundness for all widgets are same. So I'll create a constant file so that I can use that everywhere. I'll call that file as constant.dart and I'll define a constant. So in Dart, global constant starts from letter K. So I'll name it as K widget border. And for now I'm passing it as 24.0. Let's see if it's okay. And now I will change shape here. So now I'll pass shape as rounded border, and I can pass border radius here. So border radius dot circular, and border radius will be K widget border. And I think it's too much, so I have to decrease border. So I think 18. Yes, 18 is fine. Yes, so I'll pass this to all widgets, so all widgets will look uniform. But before that I have to wrap that card inside the padding, and I'll pass 12. I think 12 is not okay. 10. Yep, 8. We are using 12 for all the widgets, but in card I am using 8. The reason is that card also have its own spacing, so I'm passing 8 instead of 12. And I'm going to change this padding as well. Yes, now it's looking more beautiful. Now I have to add spacer here, so that it will take the whole space. So simply use spacer widget here, and we are done. Yes, we are done. So now I can use that widget for both icons. So I'm going to call this in list here, but I'll wrap this in row so that I can show two cards in horizontal view. So now I'll use a row here, and first and the second one. So if I save this, so there's problem. So there is problem in a row. Let me see. To make those widgets half of the screen, we have to wrap this inside flex or expanded widget. So I'm going to wrap this inside an expanded widget. So I'll use expanded and duplicate it, and I'll remove this tail. I have to disable this uncovered exceptions from this as well. And now continue, and let me run this again. Due to that exception I have to run my app again, so I'm going to stop this. I think there is a bug in Flutter or VS Code. I faced same problem previously, so I'm again going to close my VS Code and starting this again.
Wow.
Okay, and now it's showing properly. But there is problem in the spacing between those two widgets. So I'm going to remove that spacing. So instead of passing padding here, I'm going to remove that padding from here, and I'll pass that padding to the main container, which is a row. So I'll wrap this in padding, and I'll add sized box between those expandeds. So width will be, I think, 4. And yes, now it's doing same as in the design. So now I have to make few things dynamic, like text and the icon. So I'll use string text and icon data icon, and I'll pass that icon in this widget and I'll copy that icon and I'll pass that here. Okay, so now I have to use that text inside the text widget, and that's it. So now here I have to pass the text, which is add income, and the second one will be add expense. And the first icon is the down arrow, maybe inward. No, I have to find that icon. That would be opposite of our previous icon. I think that icon is not available. Yes, that icon is not in list. So I'll use same icon for both widgets. So now it's add income and this is add expense. Now move to the next widget. So here is another card with a column with two texts. Okay, and this text is bigger than this text and smaller than this text. So I can't use both of those texts. So now let's create that widget. So I'll name it as that card. Here is spelling mistake, which is DPTS. That should be DBTS, so that it will become that. So I'll use that name, build that card, and I'll return card from here, and its child will be column with children, and first child will be text and another will be also the text. I'll use style here, the text style, and font size would be I think 32, and font weight would be font weight dot bold. So I'll going to use text here like 1500, and the text will be that's, and I'll use that inside the main list view inside row. Now let's check this. Okay, so here is the that card, and I have to change size of, no, the size of that is okay. So I have to change card color and the text color. So color of card will be colors dot black, and color of text will be colors dot white, and same will be applied to the second text. There will be no font size, no font weight, only colors. And I have to add padding. Yeah, I have to add inner padding. So I'll wrap that column inside the padding, and I'll use 12 as padding. Now I have to change shape of that card as well. So I'll copy shape from previous widget. And yes, now it's looking like the previous button. And I'll wrap this in padding and the small space between those buttons, and that's it. So I have to make it as an expanded widget. I'll wrap this widget with expanded widget, and yes, now I have to change the cross-axis alignment. Cross-axis alignment dot start, and there is string text and another will be string amount. So amount will go here and text will go here, and here amount will be like 1800 and text will be that, and here amount will be 2700 and text will be savings. And now it's looking same as our design. Now move to the next widget. So this widget is simply a card view and then text and then a button. So I'll name it as stat card.
Yes.
So there is a row, and row have text. The text is control your finances. and text size is 18 or maybe 16 with boldness, and color is black. And next one is the raised button. So this is the elevated button, and the text is statistics. And okay, so now let's have a look on that widget. I'm going to use that widget inside our main list view. And yes, we have to add inner padding and outer padding, then spacing, then spacer between our text and the button, and then we have to change the color of that button and the text. Okay, so let us do it. So first of all, wrap this card inside padding with 8, and also wrap this row inside the padding widget and change its padding from 8 to 12. And here I'll use spacer widget, and that's it. Now I'm going to change shape of this card. I'll use from previous widget, and the card color will be this one. So I'll use this same color code, which is E0C4EA. So color of the card will be color. So to use hex code inside the color widget, we have to use as an integer, because this color widget will accept only integer value. So to do that, we have to use 0xFF, then our main code, which is E0C4. So E0C4 and then EA. So we can use this in small or capital letter, it's up to you. Okay, so here's a card. So the last thing is I have to change background color and the text color of this button. So inside the elevated button, so here is a style property. So here I have to use elevated button theme dot from style from, and then background color will be colors dot black, and foreground color will be colors dot white. And here is our updated button. So this is also looking same. Button is smaller in our design. This is due to that desktop environment. If we run this project in Android device, then this button will look bigger. I'll run that project in Android device as well at the end of the video. So here is our last widget, which is the expenses widget. So I'm going to create that widget as well. So I'll name it as build expenses widget, and same I'm going to return the card, and its child will be I think column. Yeah, its child will be column, and its first child will be row, the second one will be also the row. And then I have to use the text same as this text, and then the icon. So I'm going to copy this text. I think I have to use spacer. Yeah, I have to copy spacer as well. I'm going to use children here, and then I'll paste above code, and then I'll use icon button here, and its on press will be an empty, and icon will be icons dot add, and the text will be expenses. Here is typo mistake in expenses, so I'm using expenses, and I have to use that widget in our list view. So color will be gray with shade of 50. Colors dot gray dot shade 50. Okay, and have to wrap with padding. So there will be padding, and I have to also use padding here. That would be 12. So here's a nice plus icon, and his text. Yes, now I have to change the shape of this card. So I'm going to copy shape from previous widget, and yes, so it's done. And I have to change shape of this card and this floating action button as well. So I'm going to change that as well. So this is the, yes, that's card. Yes, that's looking nice. So I have to change the shape as, yes, this floating action button. So now everything is looking uniform. So now let us continue on this expenses widget. Now I have to use a row here, which is already there, and there are icon and the text. So I'm going to create another widget so that I can use it for all these 5 icons. So here I'm going to create another widget which is build expense icon, and it's floating action button and the text. So I'm going to copy floating action button from the app bar widget, this one, because we have already done all the things, and I'm going to return column from here, and it's children, and I'm going to use this text here, and there is small spacing between this icon and this text. So I'll use sized box here with height 4, and I'll make that icon and that text dynamic. So here is string text and icon data icon, and text will go here, and the color of that floating action button will be, I think, shade of gray with shade of 200. So now let us use this widget here, build expense icon, and text will be $250, and icon will be wine. I'll use that icon, wine bar, because I don't have similar icon, so I will use that icon. You can use that. So the icon's background is not visible on that widget, so I have to change, I think, just a second, shade 400. Yeah, shade 400 is okay. Now I have to change icon color to black, and that's it. Now the small padding is needed, so I'll use padding right to that column so that I don't have to paste sized box between all these icons. So I'm going to wrap this column with padding, and I will change that to only, and the right padding will be, maybe it's 12. Yes, and that's it. Our design is done. So this plus icon is in black color, so I'm going to change that plus icon color as well, and this icon is also in black color, so I'm going to change that color as well, and this icon is in gray color, so I'll change that too. So the icon, yeah, here is the icon. So background color will be colors dot gray dot shade 50, and in fact 300, and the background color is white, as you can see here. Yes, so I'm going to set background color to white. So here is the background color property, and the colors dot white. Yes, that's looking nice, and the icon color will be black. Yes, so I'll copy paste this to second widget as well. And this icon is also in black color, so income card, yes, and this floating action button as well. And yes, now the design is looking same as our product design. Now I'm going to run this in my Android device. So I have attached my Android device to my PC and mirror its screen to my desktop so that I can show you in the recording. So meanwhile it's building, so I will show you how we can use same icon in our design. So we can download icons from that icon as well, like wine icon. So we need wine icon like this, so we can easily find it here or anywhere else, or we can use Font Awesome as well. Let me check if Font Awesome has same icon design. No, Font Awesome is also different from the main design, but we can find it anywhere else. So now here is our app in Android device and here is our app in Windows. So as you can see, I can scroll it horizontally here and I can scroll it vertically as well. So as I have said that button is not showing properly on Windows due to Windows theme, but it's showing properly on Android device and it will show properly on iOS device as well. So here is our actual design and here is our design. So only one thing is left, which is that image. So you can use any image here. So I'm not going to use that image here, but if you want to use that, then you can simply wrap your widget within the stack and then you can use that image. But if you still want me to use that image, then you can comment below. I will create another small video where I will add that image and update my code. So I'll push that code on my GitHub account and give a link of that repository in description so that you can take a reference from that GitHub repository. So if you stuck anywhere, then you can take help of AI tools as well. There are many AI tools in market like ChatGPT, Gemini or Microsoft's Bing. So I'll prefer Gemini. So if you are stuck anywhere, like if you don't know how to change radius of this floating action button or radius of this card view, then you can simply ask here like how to change border radius of card in Flutter. It will give you a few examples. So Gemini gave us the code, so how we can change the border radius. Here is another way as well. So Gemini gave us 3 ways to change radius of card. So if you are taking help of AI tools, so don't just copy paste the whole code. You have to learn from that code. Just simply try to understand what they are saying, how they are doing, so that you will not get stuck next time. Use AI tool just for your reference, not to complete your task. So if you want me to build that second screen as well, then comment below so that I can create second part of this video, so that I will design that statistics page and I will update my code to GitHub.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and share with your friends as well, so I can create more valuable content for you. Follow us on other social media accounts as well. Links are in description of this video.